I'm homeless. I go down to this place called Industrial Staffing and I do day labor. I don't go out much because I have seizures. I go out like 2 times a week. But I stay in this place called Brother Brian Mission, and when I don't go out, some people want their $62 a week. So I come down here and do tours, and people give me tips. It's how I support myself, it's how I earn my living. Instead of begging and asking somebody, I got something to offer, and it's very important. If I don't get a penny, the time that I spend with you, it's time that I ain't listening to somebody telling me the white man this and the white man that, and you can't do this and you can't do that.
Oh, the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
We are here in Birmingham, and we got a really nice taxi driver called, what's your name, sir?
MD.
MD? Yeah, you're gonna be on YouTube.
All right, thank you. Good to know, the whole world will know.
I hope we have a nice ride.
Yeah.
Big wheels keep on turning, carry me home to see my kin, singing songs about the Southland. Miss old Bambi once again, I think it's a city. Well, I heard Mr. Young sing about
Famous statues that you can take their pictures and you can have talk about it. That's the City Hall.
This is the City Hall?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's open, probably everybody closed. You can find painting from the 40s that people find offensive today.
Oh, really?
Because show the white man is the master.
Naked?
Not naked.
Oh,
They
but
don't have naked people there.
oh, the feminists cannot see it, right?
No, no. If you're going to
That's
walk,
the
we do-
Birmingham Museum of Art.
Yeah, it's a free. And
Yeah,
it's
that's a
free.
pity.
So why? This is the new year. It should be open by now. I guess maybe next week. They're giving them break. Usually you can park here for free.
Okay.
Hey there guys, so Catalina and I were over here in Birmingham, Alabama in the Civil Rights District. We happen to be standing at the main park right now. If we look across the street here, this here is the church that there was a bombing of. It was a black church that there was a bombing of back, you know, in the 60s. Across the way here is the Civil Rights Museum. We're not going to get a chance to go check it out today just simply because it's closed all the way through the weekend. But here's some of the cool statues that we have here in the main park, and we're going to go and wander through here. What's that?
Video on this?
Yeah.
Well, you can. Let me tell you a little history.
Yeah, tell me about it, man.
Shoes?
Yeah.
You see those glasses?
Yes, sir.
They belong to her.
Okay.
Sarah Collins. She's the only
Sarah Collins?
Sarah Collins. She's the only surviving member of the 16th Street Baptist Church bomb. That's the 16th Street Baptist Church. That church was established in 1892. That building right there was built in 1909. It was bombed September 15, 1963 at 10:22 a.m. The preacher had just preached a sermon called A Love That Forgives. The grown people was going to march to City Hall. He just wanted them to go and come back. There was 5 girls in the building at the time. Miss Collins came out to get food and water out of the car. When she turned to go back in, the bomb went off and killed the other 4. They took out those last 4 women. Osmond Kelly Ingram was the first American soldier to die in World War I. He died aboard the USS Castle. They named the battleship after him. But anytime you come to this park, you got to understand that Osmond Kelly Ingram was a white man. And because of the Jim Crow laws and the segregation policies in the South during that time, black people couldn't go in public parks, public arenas, public schools, public restaurants, drink out of white water fountains. So even though this was a black community before the AT&T building got there, before the Alabama Power building got there, before that parking lot got there, all those was black homes and businesses. But we couldn't come in this park. Anytime they hear rallies at that church, the white people come to this park in droves. If my boss man saw me going to that church, what you think would happen come Monday? What about a lady whose children my mother kept, or a lady whose house my wife cleaned? After they built the Civil Rights Institute in 1992 and they started putting these monuments in the park, they thought about changing the name of the park. And they tossed around 4 names in particular. They're represented by 4 busts that's sitting on that corner over there. The first name that they tossed around was Julius Ellsbury. Julius Ellsbury was the first American soldier to die in World War II. He died at Pearl Harbor, aboard Oklahoma. He was born in Birmingham in 1922. Then they thought about Miss Pauline Bray Fletcher. Miss Pauline Bray Fletcher was the first African-American student to step foot on the campus of the University of Alabama. Right after George Wallace delivered his famous segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever speech, the National Guard escorted her on that campus. She earned a degree in nursing, came back to Birmingham and opened up a clinic for homeless boys and girls. Then they thought about Miss Carrie Tuggle. Miss Tuggle was the first African-American educated in the city of Birmingham. She earned a degree from Tuskegee Institute, came back to Birmingham and opened up the Tuggle Institute. The next person they thought about was Miss Ruth Jackson. Miss Ruth Jackson opened up the first accredited school of cosmetology for African-American people. Her work can be seen in any black community that you go in, because whenever you go through the hood, you're with barbershops, beauty supply stores, hair salons. That statue of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was invited to the city of Birmingham by the man in front of the Civil Rights Institute, Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth, in 1962. He had just left Albany, Georgia, where he was unsuccessful in desegregating that city. A lot of ministers here didn't believe in Dr. King because he had started some things that he didn't complete. He had left the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Selma, the only church that he ever pastored, with all the problems in Selma, and go to Albany, so they didn't see a lot of success in him. But Reverend Shuttlesworth saw a lot of potential in young men. He was a young man. He had just graduated Morehouse College. He had just graduated from the Interdenominational School of Theology, and he could appeal to the younger people. And he needed the younger people involved, because the older people with good jobs, they weren't coming around here fooling them ministers. You see these orange signs that's going this way? They mark the route of the Children's Crusade. These blue signs that's going this way, they mark the route of the retail demonstrators. The Children's Crusade was called Project C. The retail demonstrators was called Project B. Project C for confrontation, Project B for boycott. But it wound up overlapping, because as the grown people were marching in front of the businesses, students from Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Tuskegee Institute, Spearman College, our historical black colleges, they came and started doing sit-ins. They got the idea from the students from Arkansas. This monument that you see right here is dedicated to the Children's Crusade. Where you see the boy and the girl standing, you'll see Ain't Afraid of Your Jail. Most people go through that monument, they go behind the bars, take a picture through the bars, they stand beside the boy and the girl, they take a picture there. They never take the time to look up. If you take the time to look up, can I show you what it's saying?
Absolutely, sir.
This walk that you're taking is called the Freedom Walk. This whole community is based on the movement. You see this brick pattern that's going along?
Yes, sir.
This brick pattern sings a song that the demonstrators used to sing. These bricks say black, yellow, red, and white, we're all the same in God's sight.
Amen.
One Sunday morning, Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth and Reverend Nettles put 600 kids on the corner of the 16th Street Baptist Church. As they started walking up 6th Avenue, when they got to 18th Street, it became 1,000 kids. As the kids came in contact with the white people and the police, they started singing songs. And this monument tells a story. As the kids came in contact with the white people and police, they started singing a song. It went, segregation is a sin, segregation is a sin. We're gonna turn this world upside down. Segregation is a sin, segregation is a sin. And that's why it's upside down. Those are steps. You see where segregation is a sin is? Those are steps. The steps that the children took, not being afraid of jail, believing that segregation was a sin, it led us to Colin Powell. It led us to Condoleezza Rice. Today, Barack Obama. I I am 62 years old, and I never would have fathomed that in my lifetime I would have saw a black man as president of these United States. But when I was a boy, my mama used to tell me, you can be anything you want to be. And I'm like, yeah, right. Because I'm looking at the things that's going on around me. But she was right.
Yeah.
This monument here was the first monument that was dedicated to the park by the city of Birmingham. It was dedicated by Mayor Richard Arrington Jr. Richard Arrington Jr. was the first African-American mayor of the city. He won his first term in 1979. He won 5 consecutive terms. He retired in 2001. This monument is dedicated to the foot soldiers, the men and women who got out there, who didn't have much to gain, but they didn't have much to lose. The most significant thing about this monument is a picture of the boy, the dog, and the police. When this picture was in front of all the major newspapers, we had our men in Vietnam fighting the Vietnam War. We were saying the North Vietnamese were treating South Vietnamese wrong. They had human rights issues. So President Johnson and President Kennedy had an uphill battle trying to explain to the United Nations why you invading this country. Well, look what you're doing to your people. Especially when the preamble to your Constitution says, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these rights is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How can I be happy with that?
Not at all, brother.
This is a replica of the dog attack. Before you can understand the significance of this monument and the monument on the other side, the replica of the fire hose, you have to go to this corner. On this corner is a rock. The name of this monument is Peace Be Still. On April 12, 1963, which was Good Friday, Dr. Martin Luther King, Ralph Abernathy, and Reverend Shuttlesworth led a march, not from the 16th Street Baptist Church, nor the St. James AME Church, but from a little church on down the street, the Zion Hill Baptist Church. As they walked up 19th Street, the police arrested and 50 other demonstrators. While Dr. King was in the Birmingham City Jail, the white clergy members here wrote a letter to the Birmingham News saying the problems in the city wasn't because of the people here, but because of outside influence. Dr. King responded with his famous letter from the Birmingham City Jail. He wrote it on toilet paper, he wrote it on paper bags, he wrote it on anything he could write it on. Segregation is a sin, segregation is a sin. We're gonna turn this world upside down. Segregation is a sin, segregation is a sin. That's the way it went. But on Palm Sunday, 1963, 3 other ministers picked up the battle. Reverend A.D. King, who was the pastor of 16th Street Baptist Church at the time, he was also Dr. King's brother. They found him drowned in the swimming pool. Reverend Ian A. Smith. He's a pastor of the Metropolitan AME Church that's on the corner of 4th Avenue and 16th Street, and Reverend Porter. Reverend Porter was a pastor of the Bethel Baptist Church in North Birmingham. They bombed Reverend Porter's house so many times, they started calling the city Birmingham. Those 3 ministers came to this corner with 2,000 protesters behind them. When they got to this corner, the police had the dogs ready, they had the water hose ready, they had a mob of white people ready. Let me show you what they did. They kneeled and prayed. When they got through praying, Reverend Ian A. Smith said, listen, if nothing changes, demonstrators come forth, and they locked arms and started walking across the park. The police attacked them with the dogs, they attacked them with the billy hoses, they attacked them with billy clubs, they gave the white people 10 minutes with them, they didn't fight back, they persevered and reassembled on the corner of the 16th Street Baptist Church. These 4 broken columns that surround this rock, they dedicated in the memory of the girls who died in the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church. The reason that the columns are broken is because their lives was cut short. You never know how high they could have gone. And this tells you that everything that I'm telling you is true. It used to be 3 gazebos sitting in that spot. Whenever they had rallies at the church, the Klan would be in charge of the gazebos with bullhorns, heckling the demonstrators that went into the church. Today, it's a mini amphitheater. On the fourth Friday of each month at 12 noon, they host a jazz concert. But it's also a rumpus room. You think you can dance? You think you can sing? If you just stumbling through the park drunk and you got something to say.
That's the spot, huh?
Yeah. Now your voice can be heard in this park. The last monument that was dedicated to the park. Are you all familiar with Anne Frank?
Yeah, of course.
The little Jewish girl that grew up during the Holocaust. She hid in the alleys from the Germans. They finally captured her, put her in a concentration camp, but she journaled her experience. Yeah. She died 6 months before the American liberated camp. Over here, where that little bitty naked tree, they just planted it here. It's a horsewood chestnut tree. In front of it is a plaque that's dedicated to her. It says, no one needs to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. She wrote that when she was 15 years old. And they placed that little Jewish girl in this black park as a tribute to intolerance and discrimination all over the world. It says it's not just a black-white issue, it's a human issue.
Right.
It affects everybody.
Yep.
So they placed that little Jewish girl in this black park. Yeah. This is a replica of fire hose. You see the boy and the girl there? She got her back turned to protect the wound. He is facing the cannons to protect her. But this whole area is very historic. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 churches in a 2-block area. They used to meet at all the churches because Bull Connors, he declared the NAACP as a communist organization. So they had to separate themselves. They have 25 here, 30 there, 10 here, 10 there, but all of them had the same agenda. Over behind that church right there on the next corner, you got Poole Funeral Home. They hid a white activist in a casket and drove him away. Over by St. Paul's AME Church, behind it, you got the doctor's office. They used to treat the demonstrators during that time. You know, after they got fire hosed and beat and by the police and the dogs, they couldn't go to the hospital because if they went to the hospital, they'd be arrested. So the doctor's office used to treat them.
We don't have much to give you, but you know, I hope it can help you.
Yeah, anything will help you.
Yeah. Well, we would like to have even more, but I have some coins here too.
Yeah.
There's everything we have. We need to keep going home. It's getting cold. And
Thank you for stopping us, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You hold Dr. King's dream in your heart because in his march on Washington, he said he didn't want his kids to be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Had you never, I don't know what your opinion of me may have been when I approached you, but had you never stopped to listen to me, you never would have known what I had to offer. You gave me an opportunity.
you are important, really important.
We think everybody is.
Everybody is, yeah.
Y'all be
That's
good.
true.
We want you to get out there and connect with people. Live your big story.
Make sure you do something every single day to reduce road suck.
Peace, guys.
Peace and love.
And I tell you all about it when I see you again. We come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all